Welcome back to Raise on MTV, your Gen Xers guide to pop culture. I am Monty Griffin, and with me is the Andy Garcia of the 1990s. That's right, I'm talking about Eric Swaney. How are you, sir?
Now, I'm great. Now I'm trying to think though. Was that when Internal Affairs came out,
Came out in
or was there another?
1989. Andy Garcia like
Was there
starts
an?
off hot because he's in Untouchables,
Hmm.
and then
Was there
Internal
another
Affairs,
big movie?
and then his career is going to go through the roof because he's going to be in this little movie called Godfather Part 3. And Eric, does the Godfather
Yeah,
Part
he's
3
gonna.
deliver?
The Godfather Part III delivered a lot. It solved the mystery no one wanted to know about whether or not Sonny Corleone had a bastard son.
If you go by the Godfather
Turns out he did.
canon, if you go by the Godfather canon, did you ever read the Godfather book?
That Mario Puzo's Godfather? Yes,
Yes. Okay.
the Godfather.
Is
Yes.
there any mention about Sonny Corleone having a son with Lucy Mancini, who in the book is a big
Hmm.
character because we follow her to Las Vegas? And
Yes. Yes.
did she have a Sonny's kid in Las Vegas, or did she hook up with a doctor?
I think she hooked up with a doctor in Las Vegas, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's Jules Siegel,
Hmm.
and no mention of a baby. No mention.
No,
But
no.
but all these years later, apparently this minor character who had sex with Sonny at a wedding, his sister's wedding, has Sonny's baby that was not in the original Godfather canon, but hey, it is.
They had to do that because they had to remind everybody about that scene and when she described that Sonny had a monster wang.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna write a scene in the movie and just have my character, whichever girl, just lie. I mean, not lie. I mean, tell the truth.
Yeah, writer's embellishment.
Okay, so The Godfather Part Two comes out in 1974. And
Hmm.
Francis Ford Coppola, the director, was done with it. He didn't want to make another Godfather movie. He thought he did his thing. But a movie studio like Paramount, they want another movie. So they start doing these scripts. One script was somebody, Michael Eisner, the former head of Disney, wrote a
Hmm.
treatment where Michael Corleone is trying to help the CIA assassinate a Fidel Castro type of leader.
That would have been interesting. That would have been fun.
And then somebody else wrote a treatment, or no, a script where Anthony Corleone takes over Michael's business, his son.
The opera singer.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, but I don't know why they made an opera station, whatever. So why did they just have Andy Garcia as Al Pacino's son? Why do we need
Well,
the
I mean,
father?
they were recasting everybody else anyway. So
Yeah. Okay. So then in 1978, Mario Puzo writes a script with both those elements in the movie. And either John Travolta or Eric Roberts is attached to this movie.
hmm.
I've been hearing for years that John Travolta was attached to Godfather Part 3. Did you ever hear that?
No, I didn't. But what was he going to play?
He's going to play
Vinny,
Anthony Corleone, the
Vinny
opera singer.
Barbarino, Vinny Barbarino Corleone.
Want to know who the other person was attached to Godfather Part 3 playing the son? Kind of with the same killing Fidel Castro, which I remember also hearing in the 80s. I
Mickey
don't know
Rourke.
how I heard all this. I only had Entertainment Tonight. Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that would have been really bad.
Okay, so then nothing happens. Then in 1982, someone else writes a script where Michael and Tom Hagen, Robert Duvall's character, are killed in the first scene, and then his son takes over. And then there was another script in 1985 where the Corleones go up against Irish mobsters. Might have been interesting. But the
Hmm.
problem is
Only
the
if Ed Harris
cast.
was involved. Go ahead.
What?
Only if Ed Harris was involved
Yes.
somehow. But go ahead.
Maybe, hopefully. And what the issue is, the cast wants too much money. Wow. Cash grab by the studio. Of course, the cast wants money, but everybody's going to get paid.
Yeah.
And then, did you know this? Have you ever heard about Eddie Murphy talking about being in a Godfather movie?
No, but he did Harlem Nights, which he proved that he shouldn't have been in
Yes.
the Godfather
So
movie.
in that Playboy interview around Harlem Nights, he mentioned they were talking about maybe having Eddie Murphy in it, playing like a Nicky Barnes character from American Gangster as a Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that was discussed,
Cuba
but nothing
Gooding
happened.
Jr.
Yes, that was discussed, but nothing happened. But in 1988, some things were happening. For one, Francis Ford Coppola is going broke. he he lost money on One from the Heart and Cotton Club. So has to maybe sell one of his wineries, which he doesn't want to do. So he's okay to do a Godfather Part 3.
Hmm.
Al Pacino wants 8 million. And then Robert Duvall, they don't want to pay him. And you want to hear Robert Duvall talk about this?
2.5 hours. And I guess the question people would want me to ask off the top: why didn't you do Godfather 3? Well, I think everybody did it for money. I mean, why wait 15 years to do a sequel or whatever you call the third one? You know, and they waited that long, so obviously it must be for money, because why wait that long? So when there have been a lot of stories, and what I've told certain people, here's the real deal. This is the way it happened. If they offer somebody 5 times what they offer me, that's totally unacceptable. If they offered them 2 to 3 times more, which they didn't, that would be acceptable but not ideal, but I would accept it. But they didn't do that. If they offer 5 times, then that's unacceptable, and that's what happened. So it did boil down to economics.
So Pacino was going to get 5 times
Yes,
more.
yes.
And
And
two or
I
three
felt
you
it
could've
was,
went
why even do it? Coppola said because I didn't want to do secondary parts anymore, which is not true. And that I wanted a great big bunch of money, which is true to a point. I just wanted some slice of the pie. Otherwise, why do it? Because everybody was doing it for money. And when you see the movie, it is not as good as the first two. I don't care what anybody says. It's not as good as the first two.
Did you know it wasn't going to be, or did you withhold
I didn't.
judgment until you saw
Know. When I saw it, it was okay, but it wasn't as good. I mean, I thought the premise was very interesting. Organized crime connected with the Vatican. It's a very complex and kind of sophisticated, premise to go from. And it interested me to a point, but then when I did see it, I just felt that for whatever reasons, I didn't think it was as good. And everybody I've talked to, except Francis, says that.
And then there's a big issue with the movie, Mary Corleone, which we'll get to in a minute. So, Eric, who was originally cast as Mary Corleone?
Well, it turns out she was actually prepping for Stranger Things.
Yes.
Winona Ryder.
Oh, I got one before that. Julia Roberts had the part,
Oh, wow.
but she had to drop out because of scheduling. I looked it up. It wasn't Pretty Woman because she'd already filmed that. I think it's Sleeping with the Enemy.
Hmm.
So then we get Winona Ryder. Oh, wait. Before Winona Ryder, we have an audition. We're supposed to audition Rebecca Schaefer for My Sister Sam.
Oh,
and
okay.
unfortunately, what happened to her?
She was killed.
Yes, by a fan. And then Winona Ryder is in it, but she's making 3 movies in a row after another. I think it was the Jerry Lee Lewis movie, Great Balls of Fire,
Reality Bites.
Welcome Home, Roxy Michael, and Mermaids.
Oh,
And
Mermaid.
she's also engaged to a Johnny Depp, who's very easy to date, is he not?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't dated him, but I imagine that he's not.
Okay, so Cher tells Winona to drop out of The Godfather. You're working yourself too hard, but she doesn't. So she goes over to film The Godfather 3, and then she has nervous exhaustion breakdown. So she breaks down, and it's over. They film some scenes. Basically, she was still filming Mermaids and Godfather Part 3. They're kind of back there, and they're going on at the same time. So that's kind of a lot for her. So she drops out. And Eric, Francis Ford Coppola decides it's who he's thinking about doing it. He thought about Madonna, but she was a little too old. Annabella Sciorra
Mhm.
or Laura San Giacomo.
Okay.
And who does he pick?
His daughter,
Wait, what?
Sophia, who would go on to be a fine director.
Wait.
Unfortunately,
He has Laura San Giacomo.
nope. Got to do Sophia. She's there, and she's cheap. Yes, that's right. Sophia Coppola. Less money available. Nepotism.
Wow. Cannot believe that.
It
Okay.
actually worked out though.
Okay, Sophia Coppola is cute, but you have to believe that Andy Garcia is going to betray his uncle. You don't believe that for Sophia Coppola. You will for Annabella or Laura, both those girls. You would believe, yeah, I'm risking my whole life for this girl.
Yes, I agree. It was a little tough to believe.
Yes. And then the movie comes out and Christmas Day 1990. And Eric, how'd that go?
It was a bomb. It did well its first day because of curiosity, but then word of mouth and critics just destroyed it.
Yeah, not
And
even the best.
and people went in and they saw a tan George Hamilton as the new concierge and just laughed out loud.
Yeah.
There were some good parts. They tried to replicate the choreographed ending of the first movie. It was just basically a redo. They gave Al Pacino some good good lines with gravitas that
Yes.
you remember forever. They pull me out just when I take them out. You pull me back in.
I like Joey
Um,
Zaw says, "If you will not give, I will take."
yeah, they give him they allow him to have a scene where he's a diabetic fit, needs some orange juice. And it's much stuff like that. Coda, like I said, like I was thinking, I recently watched the reworked version, called what they've now called just Godfather Coda, and they've done some work with it and streamlined it and extended a little bit, and it's much better.
Yes, it's called The Godfather Coda. The Godfather
Coda.
Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone.
It's not a
This movie,
cheese, Monty.
cheese.
It's not a cheese, Gouda. It's Coda.
Coda. Gouda. Godfather Gouda. I didn't actually would see that movie. Okay. So this movie kills the Godfather franchise. Kills it. 1998, they're talking about maybe doing a Godfather movie with Leonardo playing Sonny, a young Sonny, and then Andy Garcia playing an old Sonny. But that never happened. Mario Puzo died. They redoed that movie in 2020. In 2022, they had on Paramount TV The Offer about the making of the Godfather. Did you ever get a chance to watch that?
I did. That was actually pretty interesting.
That's real good. The guy, whoever played Bob Evans in the movie, I forget the actor's name. He was incredible.
Yeah.
But hey, Godfather Part III. Yeah, didn't work. Another bad sequel in 1990. Eric,
But you know what? You got to watch it if you watch the other two, just to wrap
I
it
agree.
all up. Yeah.
I agree. All right, Eric, we'll come back with some more bad sequels in 1990.
1990 bad.